Hello, and my name is Mr. Lucero, and I'm going to be telling you today about our psychology class, kind of intro to psychology class. Here we have at Aloha High School. So throughout the following digital, parent night that we're doing, hopefully our first and only one that we'll be doing. I'll be telling you about the class, what we're learning, and where we're going with the course. But first off, a little bit about me. So this slide is just a chance for me to tell you a little bit about myself. In my role as a teacher and as a parent, and how that affects my teaching. So just on here, it's a lot going on here. But I'm originally from California, where I taught for 7 years down in LA, moved up here, and I've been here at Aloha for, I think this is my 15th year. Right now I have been lifelong friends. I've been fortunate to have that group of people in my lives from middle school all the way till now. And I have my own family, right? A wife and kids, which really helps to guide my teaching. My son is in high school, just started, and my daughter is a middle schooler. So as I'm doing this and as I'm preparing my classes, I'm keenly aware of the challenges that distance learning is putting, before all of our kids, right? And how they can seem like small assignments, and they sometimes are, but managing them and getting through them is something new for everyone involved. So I'd ask that as you go through this video and you look at the classes, that we all give each other some grace with what we're doing, because we're all doing our best, and that's all we can ask for, right? So that's who I am. In terms of the class, we have 3 learning targets that we'll be using in psychology. At least that's the plan right now. We've done the first one already. It's already done, right? It's week 5. So we've done an exploration of psychology and how it relates to biology. The kids did a great job looking at the brain and how that affects us. We are just starting the second unit, which is going to be looking at that question of why do people do and feel what they do. With that, we'll be looking at something called behaviorism, and we'll be spending a good 3, maybe even 4 weeks on it. The majority of the course from this point on will be that. And lastly, the plan is to have one kind of final project looking at various psychological conditions and disorders, giving the students a chance to put together what they've learned into some kind of final work. That's the plan. We'll see where it goes. In order to be successful in the course, a couple things to keep in mind. In fact, maybe I should have mentioned this in the last slide. Every learning target builds upon itself. So the first learning target, we're going to have 2 entries. In Unit 2, as we do behaviorism, it'll be another chance. We're still not going to be done with that first learning target. So if a student didn't do as well on that first learning target, okay, Unit 2 will be a chance to hit new content and go back and hit that learning target one more time. And that final project will hit everything. So with that in mind, right, it's not all or nothing. If they happen to miss one thing comes up, it doesn't happen, you can still get a strong grade in this class. We have a couple things, and my words of advice to you: ask questions, seek help. We're all managing this. So send an email, stay in the chat after, a dismissed class. Typically, my typical class, maybe the first 30 minutes, we'll talk, do some instruction, and then I cut the kids loose to get started with the work. And some kids stick around, right? I'm always there after, and they'll stay in that chat, and we talk one-on-one. If you have that question, please do that. Always look for everything that we're doing in class and seeing how you can apply it outside of school. That's how we're going to separate a 2, 3, and a 4. We're looking for, bits of application, we call it. So as we look at that, right, as we're presenting new ideas, be thinking to yourself, how is this applied to me and people I know? If you can do that, you're going to do well with the course when it comes time to do kind of final projects. Take good notes in your own voice, right? In terms of grading, when I get to that in a minute, we're going to be looking at a portfolio of work, and that portfolio counts, right? That'll be in the grade book, and it'll be a chance for you to show me that it's not always about being right. It's showing me you're interacting with the content, doing your best. If you're not sure, you tell me in your notes. I know you're trying. I know you're working with it. I can make comments, and that counts as a grade. And that would get you a passing course in the grade if you do this through all the content. Lastly, with homework and grading, we're going to use the traditional grading scale, right? It's all assessed on a portfolio format. And if you have any questions, it's best to reach me through the district email, not through Canvas. Although it's in there, sometimes I'm looking at too many places. So there's my email. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Again, Mr. Lucero in Psychology.